In this video, we will go over the actual reclassification interface. So under reclassification, the reclass tools are the first link for patient revenues and the top link here in the middle below the separator for operating expenses. Both interfaces are exactly the same. The only difference is that they operate on different set of GL accounts. Right now, let's take a look at the operating expense reclassifications that will only adjust your operating expenses within the GL. So how you would set up a new reclass is you would first set up all your metadata that will also appear on your exported workpaper. First, you'll want to choose a name, but when you select a GL tag, it will default to that name. So let's say I'm doing a reclass for the OB nursery. It defaults to that name. Next, you'll want to pick an alpha basis code, and this will just define your reclass by an alpha letter, which will appear within your GL detail, and the tools also sort it alphabetically. You also have the option to select a workpaper reference that will appear within your exported Excel file. Next, you'll want to list out a specific purpose for this reclass and describe it accordingly. And then there's a notes section within the tools. These are purely internal unless you select show these notes on the workpaper, and then these will appear on your exported Excel spreadsheet. So now let's take a look at an example. There are three types of operations that you can do. Really, there are only two types of reclass operations and one temporary adjustment operation. So let's go over the first, the adjustment operation. This is a temporary adjustment that allows you to tweak your general ledger accounts that you have tagged. So let's say specifically, in my example, I've tagged all the accounts on page 18, line 205, but I know there's a specific account in here that is off. Maybe my registered nurses is off, and I need to add in some dollar amount. You also have the option to eliminate dollars. Having to set up an adjustment within the OSHPD report is rare, but the option is there just in case you do need to modify any of your tagged GL accounts prior to reclassifying your tagged accounts. So let's go over the two reclass operation types. The layout of both pages are identical. The only difference is for a fixed amount reclass, you need to enter in specific dollar amounts that will be reclassified. So if you specify $25,000, $25,000 will be reclassed. Whereas an allocation reclass, you're going to enter in either a specific percentage. So if you want to move 65%, you would enter it with the percent sign. Or the other option is you can enter in some numerical statistic, and the tools will take a ratio to total to derive your percent reclassification. Now let's go over the layout some more. All of these fields to the left of your description for both options and the adjustment field allow you to further filter your tagged GL accounts. So in this example, I've tagged a whole line which spans multiple departments and multiple sub-accounts. So again, I can say specifically within all of the accounts in there, I specifically want to move a certain dollar amount from that account to a certain destination. Everything on the right-hand side are your destinations. So maybe I want to move these to line 165. Utilizing this additional filter option is not mandatory, but is there just in case you need to use it if you need to refine a broad tag. So if you accidentally forget to choose a tag and you were to set up some allocation, the tool would be operating on the full operating expense GL. That is, you have not limited any of the operating expense accounts in any way. So make sure you select the tag and or are filtering down that tag if necessary. So let's take a look at a few examples. Medical supply expense. In this reclassification, we have tagged a range of sub-accounts that fall within our medical supplies category. Then for the allocation reclass, we are moving 100% of those tagged sub-account expenses that fall within some certain departments to worksheet 17, line 250. So this is an allocation reclass where 100% of the tag accounts are being moved. Another common form of allocation reclass and a common reclass is your dietary. This is where we've tagged the dietary department and we're going to split it, not limiting the tagged accounts in any way. We're going to split it on allocation of non-patient and patient meals between two lines. The tools will derive the ratio to total to split up these tagged accounts. And let's look at one more example, the hospitalist program. Here they specified a specific account that they wanted to split by a specific allocation percentage that they knew beforehand and are moving it specifically to certain lines and columns. So once you've set up all of your expense reclassifications, you'll want to go to the Apply and Export page. Under this page, you'll then have the option to execute all of your reclasses, none of your reclasses, or pick and choose to see what happens to your GL if you only apply certain reclasses. Typically, you'll want to apply all, apply your reclasses, and then once that's processed, you'll have the option to export an Excel spreadsheet and a reclassified general ledger.